everyone. I would like to thank you all for all the love and all the support, dear friends, subscribers, bass lovers, for supporting my channel. And I hope you're enjoying my videos, my tutorials, and thank you so much. This bass line is a finger funk bass line, a moderate finger funk bass line. It's not difficult, it's easy to play, and it has some cool tricks and variations. So hope you'll enjoy it. It's on E minor. It's a 4 chords bass line: E minor, A minor, C major, and D major. When you want to do a bass line and you have to move throughout these chords, what I think the most important thing is to play these bass lines and try to make it like a whole entity. So when you listen to it, you don't feel that it's like moving throughout chords. Like every time a chord comes, you're highlighting this chord. So the whole bass line is like one single melody that goes through these 4 chords. I'll show it to you. It starts with the E. So I hit the E, and after the E I have a hit. I always like use these hits and mutes to give it a certain percussive effects. So E, hit, hammer on. D, E. I hit the G after the hammer on, from the D to the E. After the G I hit the E again. So E, hit, mute. After the E I do a mute. I move to the G. It's like a passing note to reach the A. Okay? So from the beginning, E, hit, hammer on. Now I reach the A. Once I hit the A chord, I move to the 11th fret on the D string and the 10th fret on the G string. And I do a slide from the 11th fret on the D string and the 10th fret on the G string to the 12th fret on the D string and the 11th frets on the G string. Alright? From the beginning. Once I do this slide, I play the open A 3 times, B, C, and that way I reach the C chord. Alright, so from the beginning. I can always put hits and mutes the way I feel like putting them to give me this, like, to spice it up. I can do a hit here after the slide, just before playing the 3 A's. Once I hit the C, I do the harmonics on the 5th fret on the D string and the 5th fret on the G string. Alright? After hitting the harmonics, I move to the D chord. D, D, A. Okay? Okay, what I do here, after the A, I'm still on the D chord, but I have to play the 7th fret of the D string and the 7th fret of the G string. And what I'm doing technically with the right hand, I rest my thumb on the D string. Alright, it's like barely touching the D string. I don't put pressure on the D string, because if I put pressure on the D string, it doesn't give the right sound. So when I barely touch the string, resting my thumb on it and plucking with the index from the back of the thumb, I can have this cool sound. This like cool sound of the note. Okay, so the most important thing is to barely touch the string with the thumb, and from behind the thumb with my index, I play the note. Alright, so when I play the C harmonics, D, I play the 7th fret of the D string and the 7th fret of the G string. Finally, I do a slide to end up the bass line. I do a slide from the 7th fret on the D string till the 9th. And after the slide, I play the 7th fret on the G string, the D note. A, B, D, B, A, G, D. And this is the end of it, so I can stutter again from the E note. Alright, so I'm going to play it one more time slowly. And this is the most important thing when you want to do bass lines in a progression where you have like 2 chords, 3 chords, 4 chords. Try not to show the chords, highlight the chords. Like when the chord comes, you should like play the root of it, or like always the one. The one is important, but sometimes it's nice to not to like highlight the chord. All right, so you can do a bass line, an entity by itself, like so you can have a certain melody, like you are manipulating the rhythm, stimulating the notes, how you enter the chord and you get out of it, going to the next chord. So I always say that you can be a good bass player, but you can also be an irreplaceable bass player, and for you to be that irreplaceable bass player, it's all up to your bass lines and how you link these chords together. And then up to do a bass line, if you remove it from the song, is like, oh, there is a big thing missing in the song. All right, so I'm going to play it slowly now. Okay, so as you are seeing how I'm moving from a chord to another, and how I'm getting out from a chord to another, and how I'm doing this whole bass line again and again as a pattern, it doesn't show a lot that I am hitting the note or I'm entering the chord. The most important thing to have this melodic feel in the bass line, for it to be like a whole entity by itself. All right, so I'll play it again. All right, thank you so much. That was it. I hope you enjoy it and you're enjoying this bass line. Take your time doing it, take your time learning it, and play it along with the drums and the guitar. Thank you.